I wanted to share an update on my lawn 7 days later after overseeding. I did a video on how to fix a bare or patchy spot in your lawn, and I did it here on this section of my lawn, and 7 days later, this is the result. As you can see, there is germination all throughout the edge. Seedlings have sprouted. They're about 1.5 to 2 inches in height. It's filling in, it's looking thicker, and this is exactly what I wanted. I trusted the process. I made sure I watered every day. I made sure that the soil didn't dry up, and there are still some thin, patchy areas all throughout here, but not as much anymore. If you compare to how it looks right now to before, big difference. And after a couple weeks, those thin areas will fill in a bit more. Probably not this spot. For some reason, I believe the pigeons, birds, squirrels ate most of the seeds in this section or in this part. But it's all good because all along the edge, everything germinated for the most part. So I'm just gonna trust the process, wait a couple more weeks to see how it looks. But man, it looks good. Like, just, it's looking fuller, thicker. Now, this spot in particular, I went back and watched the video and I was actually standing right on top of it. So I did not even throw seed down here. So I will go back and fix this later. In 7 days, you can get results. But now I'm gonna show you how I go about overseeding again after 6 weeks on my main lawn here in my backyard. What's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be overseeding again. About 6 weeks ago, I originally had overseeded my lawn, part of a renovation that I did here in my backyard, but it's been 6 weeks now and there are some bare spots, some thin areas that I want to fill in, and it's gonna be pretty much the same steps. You're gonna see again how I overseed and how I spot seed certain sections more than others. It's part of the process though. If you recall, 6 weeks ago here in the Midwest, Chicago, the soil temperatures were around 48 to 50 degrees, which is not ideal for those baby seeds to grow. And I went ahead and did it though, just to jumpstart my lawn. That was expected. And this time around, I really want to get this overseeding out of the way, so when summertime starts, the baby grass seeds don't have a hard time trying to grow while that summer heat is beaming on these seeds. So as you can tell, the grass here is around 3 inches. I cut down a couple days ago down to 3 inches, and it's for me, I think it's a good height to protect those baby seeds from the sun. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The first step is to clean up the area. I'm gonna be using my leaf blower to really get in there, blow any debris, trash, leaves, all of that away, and also lift up those leaf blades that are currently down right now from foot traffic, from mowing, or anything like that. So let's go. Okay, now it's time to spread the seed, and I'm gonna be using a hand spreader this time around. I'm gonna be having more control when it comes to the hand spreader here, and I cleaned up the area, and now I'm gonna be throwing down the seed. Okay, the seed I'm using is this Jonathan Green's Sun and Shade Mix Black Beauty. This is the only one I use. Now I know there are better ones, but it does the job. I'm not too worried right now at the moment to get the darkest, greenest lawn yet, but for now this will do. And I've gotten great results from it, so we're gonna put this onto the hand spreader. I do have a weight scale that I want to use this time around just to try it. Okay, so time to measure how much I'm gonna be using. Roughly, I want to aim for about 3 pounds And the general rule of thumb is to use about 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. It all depends, to be honest with you. I know with 3 pounds here in my backyard, I get a good coverage. My backyard is roughly around that. It's around 850 to 900 square feet. So since I am going to be spot seeding, I am going to use more. So that's why I'm choosing to do 3 pounds today versus the suggested rate. So the point here is that you don't want to overcrowd the seeding, obviously, but when you have bare spots, you're going to have to apply more than if you were just to overseed. So that's why hand spread and all of that and all the calculations is going to help you to evenly spread those seeds. But for this case, 3 pounds it is. So again, I'm using 3 pounds for my backyard here, which is roughly around 1,000 square feet. I have roughly around 1.5 pounds here. I still have some left over, so let's go. Here we go. I'm gonna use a hand spreader. I have it at number 2 for now. Let's see how it shoots out, how it spreads, and then I may choose to go even higher setting. So the higher the setting, the bigger the distribution amount will be. I'm gonna come back and specifically spot seed this section and other areas where it needs it more, but I'm overall just overseeding everything first. So here I'm gonna be spot seeding. As you can see, there is a chunk missing here. And with the little seed that I have, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it here. So I don't wanna miss this spot. I missed it last time. Just some more spot seeding. That was a little tiring, not gonna lie. A lot of bending over, making sure I drop those seeds, spread the seed to get good coverage. But now I'm just gonna rake it all in just to ensure that the seed is not sitting on top of the leaf blades and it's actually all the way down to the soil, just to have that good seed to soil contact. But overall, there was a lot of bare spots, so I found out real quickly. Used a lot more seeds than I intended to. I think I used around 4.5 pounds of grass seed here. So, but next is I'm gonna use my peat moss spreader I'm gonna rake it in first and then use my peat moss spreader. So let's go, rake it all in.
I'ma cock my 9 mother.
So I'm gonna be using the peat moss spreader just to spread the peat moss in all these exposed bare spots and give it a nice coverage. And again, the peat moss will help retain moisture, so I don't have to worry too much about watering, and it will keep the soil nice and moist while the seed is germinating. So that is why I'm gonna be using the peat moss spreader. It's really compacted in there. I can't really push anything out. So I'm gonna go back and fill in the edges with peat moss, hand spread it, just to cover any missed areas. I almost forgot to apply the fertilizer. It's high in nitrogen, phosphorus, so it's gonna jumpstart those seedlings. Let's go. thank you guys for watching. As you saw, I overseeded my lawn. It took a little bit of work. There were a lot more bare spots than I had thought. So I had to overseed and then spot seed, but also I had to throw some peat moss on those spot seeding that I was doing. So it became a lot more work than I thought. But this is all preparation for the summer. It's gonna be a hot one, so I really wanna get on top of it just to give the baby grass in a month from now a chance of surviving and making it all the way through the fall. But it starts now, and we're in the first week of May here in Chicago, Midwest. So summer's coming and the forecast is perfect. It's gonna be 50s, 60s the next couple of days and maybe high 60s next week. So if I do the watering, the grass seed will germinate, but I do have to be on top of it. So the last step here is just to water it, but I'll do that off camera because I'm a little bit tired. But at the end of the day, thank you guys for watching. Seriously, I know people are leaving comments, so I do appreciate that. With all that being said, thank you, like and subscribe. Peace.